Good evening or good morning. It's Gordon Causey. If you follow me on Twitter, handle is Canuck Gord or Gord Canuck, Gordy Canuck. Can't even remember my own handles. And on Reddit, I'm Grow a Set. I'm live. It's right now 2:16 a.m. on Thursday, the 26th of January. I see I have two people watching, and two ways this video can do. This is live and unscripted, reacting to what has just dropped from this Project Veritas with relation to someone who's being presented as an executive from Pfizer. And if I get one way this will go is I just want to advise caution with respect to this supposed bombshell. And that'll be if no one reacts, if there's no commentary. I do appreciate comments, reactions, questions. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me you think I'm on the money, whatever. All is good. Likes, shares, subscriptions are welcome and appreciated. So without any further preamble, what's the news hitting out now? It's that we have video that's come out from this Project Veritas, and it purports to be a hidden video of a man named Jordan Tristan Walker. And Jordan is spelled Gordon, Tristan, Triston, Walker. And he's identified and presented as a director of research and development at Pfizer. And kid, I'm going to use the word kid. I'm 56. He looks a lot younger than me. In point of fact, I would say he doesn't even look to be 40 years of age. And that's not to put forth an age bias. It's just, if you know anything about corporate structure, words like executive and director get bandied about and can be added to people's titles. I have to question openly how senior, assuming this individual does in fact work for Pfizer, I have to question, how senior an individual is he? The Post Millennial wrote an article, and going from the video where this Walker gentleman is presented as a director of research and development, strategic operations, and an mRNA scientific planner with Pfizer. So I don't even know if he's actually involved on the scientific end, on the research end, or not. You don't get a lot of bio on this guy, and I've done a quick search trying to find out, verify if this individual is indeed who he's presented to be. And I can't find anything. I found a LinkedIn profile under that name, but it doesn't look like it's been updated in a long time. And it was about a guy by that name who went to Yale University. So what I'm going to suggest is that I know that there's a lot of individuals out there wanting to see the whole house of cards come crashing down. And I can imagine there are some saying, well, this proves it. This is going to send the whole thing crashing down. Now we're finally going to see some action. We're going to see Pfizer prosecuted, what have you. I should throw out, before I go any further, I always like to get a disclaimer out there. And usually I like to get it out at the front, but nothing in this video is to be construed as medical advice. And I am not offering expert opinion by any stretch of the imagination. This is just one individual's thoughts, views, and opinions. But there's been this, this will send it all crashing down. I think we saw that when Stu Peters and his outfit came out with that died suddenly video, and people say, oh, this will do it. And what we saw in the aftermath of that is, I think, in a lot of ways, that video did as much damage as it did good. I think it closed as many eyes as it opened. And I can see the same thing happening here. I think ultimately we could find out that this, what's his name again? Walker, Jordan Tristan, that he's a junior level employee with Pfizer, middle management type, not a senior director. Corporate structures, the way they work, quite often you get fancy titles, but it doesn't mean that they're sitting around the boardroom table or anything to that. He's a director of research and development, strategic operations, and an mRNA scientific planner. It's like kids who work at a gas station pumping gas will say they're petroleum transfer engineers. You can dress up titles to make yourself sound big and important. And given that this Walker guy looks to be quite young, I question how high up in the hierarchy within Pfizer he is. He seems quite eager, quite excited to be able to share what he has heard, what he knows, or what he believes he knows with this Project Veritas, quote unquote, journalist. But I think people thinking that this will send the whole thing crashing down, like so many times before, I think we're going to be disappointed. What is he talking about in the video? He's talking about directed evolution taking place, about Pfizer trying to get in front of the mutations in labs, or by infecting monkeys and allowing them to transmit the virus one to another, so that with the object being toward developing prophylactically. Prophylactics are preventative measures, prophylactic measures to develop, to get out in front so that they can have a quote unquote vaccine ready before a mutation actually starts circulating widely. And an open question I have is, there are a lot of us, myself included in this, who believe, what we've been subject to for the past 3 years, nearly 3 years, I'll call it 3 years, is a psychological operation. We've been undergoing a psyop. And one of the biggest things if you read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, you know that deception is key in warfare. And you've got to be discerning about everything that gets thrown at you. And the question I have is, when the vaccines were rolling out in earnest in Canada, it started in the summer of 2021. That's when the big push was on to get everyone jabbed. It wasn't just Canada, it was worldwide. In the United States, they were giving away free donuts. And Canada, we had lotteries, and they had festivals, events, carnivals to get kids to come and get their shots, get free ice cream, and all kind. It was disgusting, but in a large fashion, that was the battle, and we lost. 70-80% of the population gave in, either willingly or because they were coerced. And are we fighting a battle that we've already lost? Are we being directed toward, to put it in militaristic terms, imagine a major city in France during World War II having been captured and conquered, and utterly destroyed by the enemy. And then all of a sudden, news comes out that there's a big resistance happening in this conquered city. And so the Allied forces go and direct a lot of their energies and their equipment and their manpower towards liberating that city. But it's already been destroyed. It's a battle not worth fighting. There are so many things happening on this Great Reset front, this false industrial revolution, Fourth Reich, that's coming out of the WEF. I mean, we've got the move to a cashless society, the move to a digital ID, this whole social credit score, the 15-minute city. We've got questions about our food security. This move toward away from meat-based diet, and ultimately, in London, Ontario, Canada, they opened up the world's largest cricket protein processing plant. And there are all these different fronts opened up. And so where are we going to focus our energies? Are people going to be focused in on Project Veritas and this, to my way of thinking, it looks like a junior level executive middle management type with Pfizer who loves to run off at the mouth about gain of function, although he's presenting it in the video as directed evolution, and which to me the two terms seem to be entirely synonymous. Directed evolution, gain of function, either way. You're trying to manipulate nature. So there was no engagement on this, but my final takeaway on this is caution, thinking that this will send the whole thing crashing down. One can certainly hope. The only way I could see that happening is if ABC, NBC, CBS, 60 Minutes, Fox, CNN, if all the major mainstream media outlets in the United States and Canada and abroad, if they all started to focus in on it. But I see them as all being part of the same machinery. They were all those entities, including the pharmaceutical industry, they all just came out of Davos. Borla, the CEO of Pfizer, was just in Davos himself. All the major media companies, the hedge funds, the BlackRocks who own all the media corporations are all there. And so to think that the right hand is going to start fighting with the left hand, it's that old analogy of the right wing and the left wing are both part of the same bird. I look upon the WEF and their partnered organizations as being a single entity. And to think that they're going to start warring with each other, I think it's wise to be circumspect about the possibility of that happening. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I don't view it as being likely. So I'll keep it under 15 minutes for a change. This will be one of my shortest. Watch the video. I mean, it's illuminating to a degree, but anyone watching my channel, I'm preaching to the choir in terms of the vast majority of the population who are too distracted by the NHL, NFL, NBA, by sporting events, by the entertainment industry, by simply their day-to-day lives, paying the mortgage, putting food on the table, clothes on the kids' back. Are the vast majority of the population going to pay attention to this? I don't think so. I don't even think it will register. It will be, if nothing, just a tiny little blip on their radar, and it'll be completely ignored. The same as that died suddenly video was pretty much completely ignored. People will go onto Google, they'll do a quick little search, fact check, and they'll look at a Reuters or an Associated Press article telling them fake or not to worry about it, and then they'll just drop it. So the fight continues. I mean, as I said, I just enumerated all those, this great reset fourth industrial revolution agenda coming out of the WEF, coming out of Davos, Switzerland, is there's so many fronts out there, and we're moving into challenging times. So God bless, and I'll see you on the weekend. Night now.